This HOA Karen booked my lakefront mansion for a 100-person party inside the home I bought to find quiet after my wife passed away. I returned to find caterers arranging tables right next to her urn on the mantel. The HOA president stood there smiling, holding up a contract with my name on it, a signature I never signed. She assumed she could intimidate a grieving man into compliance. What she didn't realize was that I'm a retired attorney, and her forged document contained one microscopic digital flaw, enough to let me sue her, the HOA, and everyone involved for $100,000 and win in under 3 minutes. How could a single digital mistake cost an entire neighborhood 6 figures? Drop where you're watching from in the comments, because you're about to see exactly how that piece, to me, smelled like fresh paint and sawdust. For 67 years, my life had been split between courtrooms and construction sites, either building cases or building homes. When my wife Eleanor died, the quiet in our old house became unbearable. So I bought this place instead, a worn-down lakefront mansion in a sleepy North Carolina suburb governed by a notoriously strict HOA. Most people avoid HOAs. I welcomed it. Their rules promised the silence I needed. The house was rough porches, sagging, windows rattling, but it had solid bones. Eleanor and I had always dreamed of restoring something like it during retirement. Now it was mine alone. I paid cash, every dollar saved carefully over a lifetime, and spent 6 months restoring it properly. I followed every rule, every permit pulled, every inspection logged, every step documented. I even secured county approval to operate the property as a short-term rental if I ever wanted. I had the time-stamped PDF from the clerk's office to prove it dated March 3 art. It wasn't about income. It was about control, about certainty, about proving this house was mine in every legal sense. My peace was built on paperwork. That foundation cracked on a bright spring Saturday when an email appeared in my inbox. The sender, Karen Marson, HOA president. I'd met her once, smiling too wide at a mailbox gathering. Her email was soaked in the same fake sweetness. She asked if she could host a small welcome gathering for the neighborhood at my home, complimenting the renovation, calling it the crown jewel of the lake. I replied politely, but firmly, "Thank you for the kind words, Karen, but the house isn't ready for guests. My wife's urn is still on the mantel, and I'm not prepared for gatherings." It was the truth. Eleanor's ashes sat in a cherrywood box above the fireplace I had just restored. That space was sacred. I sent the message and thought it was over. The next day, I drove out for supply stain and sealant. I was gone less than an hour. When I returned, my quiet road was lined with white catering vans. At the end of my driveway, professionally printed signs read "Event Parking," complete with the HOA logo. My stomach dropped. The front door, locked when I left, stood wide open. Inside, strangers unfolded chairs, set buffet tables, and strung lights across my porch. A chef in a white coat greeted me like I was late to my own party. "You must be the owner. Looks great." I couldn't speak. He mistook my silence for confusion. "We're right on schedule. Everything will be ready by 5. "What event?" I finally asked. I approved nothing. His smile faded. He pulled up a contract on his phone. "Karen said you approved weeks ago. She sent this." There was a rental agreement for my property, complete with my digital signature. Perfect, familiar, fake, 97 guests, already RSVP'd. This wasn't a mistake. It was a home invasion, dressed up as a neighborhood potluck. I didn't yell. I secured the property. I closed and locked the iron gate at the driveway entrance, then calmly informed the caterers they were trespassing and needed to leave. Authority real, authority doesn't shout. They packed up. At 4:15, I called Karen. She answered cheerfully. I told her there was no party. Her tone turned icy. "Don't be difficult. It's just one evening. Don't be selfish." Selfish for protecting my home and my wife's memorial. That's when I knew this was intentional. I opened the PDF. Forged documents always betray themselves. I sent it to my niece Trish, a paralegal sharp enough to smell digital fraud instantly. She confirmed it within minutes. The metadata showed the file was created weeks before. Karen ever emailed me proof the forgery predated her request. Then the HOA escalated. They fined me $2,000 a day for refusing a pre-approved event, claiming I'd verbally agreed weeks earlier. They didn't know about my doorbell camera. It logged every visitor. Karen had never been there. No conversation, no agreement. Then came the flyer campaign. Emails, smear attempts, a claim that she had the keys, attempts to sabotage my power. Every step documented, every lie recorded. By the time the police showed up on party day, I had a stack of evidence thicker than their patience. They couldn't force me to open my gate. Karen humiliated herself publicly. 2 weeks later, I filed suit for defendants. One claim, $100.000. I needed less than 5 minutes. The judge needed even less. Metadata doesn't lie. Video doesn't lie. Printed defamation speaks for itself. The verdict took under 3 minutes. Full judgment awarded. The fallout was quiet. Karen resigned. The HOA collapsed into silence. Jerry became president. The rules changed. Now, my lake is quiet again. Some people protect their homes with warning signs. Protect mine with truth and a 3-minute verdict.